Okay.
Sorry.
In case y'all don't know who I am, most of you, I've been around for a long time. I'm Terry Mitchell with Mission Fire Sprinkler. And today we're going to talk about the different type sprinklers, the different type plates, how to clean them, what to do in certain situations, and answer any questions you guys have. You guys see a lot more of this all over the hospital than I do, so any questions you have, the first thing I want to do is make sure everybody in here before you leave has my phone number. So you can call if you're in an area and you find something that you don't understand. Call me, send me a picture, let me see what you're doing. Maybe I can answer it over the phone. If I can't, then I'll come down here and we'll take a look at it. So I'm down here 3 or 4 days a week, at least. Okay, this is a white pendant plate for a semi-recessed head. You can normally, these are kind of generic. I know you guys see these. You see the chrome ones like this. These are kind of generic. There's 2 different sizes. This insert is for a 1/2 inch sprinkler. This insert is for a 3/4 inch sprinkler. You have both. They will interchange in this outer skirt. Now, most of the things that you find here, if it's chrome, if you see it with this ring on it and it's chrome, there is spares in Terry's office and there's spares in the tool room. Now there's one kind that will not, and nothing will fit it but that kind, and it's a Viking. It says Viking on it, it's bigger than this. If you try one of these and they don't fit, you might as well call me, because I think you had some in stock, but they're gone. If you go out to look at a sprinkler head that's missing a plate and it has anything like this on it, this is a full recessed sprinkler. They don't make them anymore. They haven't made them since the 90s. But this is made to go flat up against the ceiling. That leaves the sprinkler head hanging down a 1/2 inch. By code, it has to be on this top head. And then this plate slides on the deflector. And that's all there is. The main reason they quit making these is because they're so easy to knock off and lose. So they did away with them. I'm going to pass it around and let you guys look at it. This is the newest one. This is what we installed. We've been installing these here for 10 years. This is a standard concealed sprinkler. They're all over the hospital. They're in here. This plate fits only this sprinkler. Any concealed sprinkler that you find that has anything like this on it, around it, and it's up in the ceiling completely, there's only one plate that'll fit it legally. If you put the wrong plate on it, then it's not a UL listed device anymore. And if it doesn't work, then you're responsible, or I'm responsible, or somebody besides the sprinkler company is responsible. So this is a standard response. This is what you have all over the place in this hospital. There's also, this is an extended coverage. That sprinkler there covers a 7/6 radius. This sprinkler here will cover up to 10 feet either way, all the way around the radius, just according to the pressures you have. But with fire pumps you have here, they'll work. So in a small room, say a 18 by 18 room, instead of having to put 2 sprinklers in it, you'd use this. This looks just like those, but believe it or not, it's a different brand, different plate. That plate may start on this, but it is not legal. So you need to make sure what brand it is. All the sprinklers here have the brand written right here on the deflector. You need to take a picture of it, send it to me. The ones you have now are Globe, and there's more of them than anything in the hospital. This one here is a Star, and it looks like it's the same thing, but it's not. It's definitely totally different. Here, I'll pass that around. This is for a sidewall sprinkler. Y'all have very few of these here, but there is some. And the way they work, so this is a sidewall sprinkler. Does everybody know what this is? Has everybody seen one of these before? It only goes horizontal, coming out of the side of the wall, and it has to be within 8 inches of the top of the ceiling. They make these in a concealed, just like those. This is the plate that fits it. The sprinkler head sticks out of the wall. This covers it up. So, 2 different ones. Sidewall heads, sidewall head.
Now the sidewall, does it have to have a cover? It's concealed?
The sidewall can go in a concealed, or it can go in one of these here.
That's what.
Yes, it can go in either one. This is completely legal as long as it's the right distance from the deck.
That's what we got on North Wing, up in the patient rooms.
Yeah,
Coming out of the
yeah, that's right. There is some in there. So and these are different qualifications, different specs. Some can be a foot down, some can only be 8 inches. So the ones in North Wing, I know are correct. That we installed those a couple of years ago. The bulb color in the sprinklers, all sprinklers. This is an upright. This is a pendant. They all have a red bulb in them. Okay, the red bulb is 155 degrees. This thing melts and discharges at 155. Now this sprinkler is a pendant sprinkler also. These are the same kind of sprinkler. This one's newer. This one's a quick response. This is a standard response. The ones with the strut in the middle instead of the glass bulb are 165 degrees. Unless there's certain things that you can do that they're more, but anything you have here is going to be 165. If you see them with a green color inside them, they're 200 degrees. Some of your mechanical rooms are going to have a 200 degree head. So if you need one replaced, make sure you tell me what color it is, or check the one beside it. You can't have a 200 degree here and a 165 or 155 here. They have to be the same so they operate together. This is an institutional sprinkler. They make 6 or 8 different brands of these. We use this kind because they're so hard to knock out, so easy to take care of, and once you put them in, you can't even tell they're there. So most of the time, prisoners won't even know to mess with them because they don't know what they are. These sprinkler heads are about $200 a piece. Compared to a regular one, they're about 15 or 20. I leave the cover on that because of the expensiveness, but you can take it off and look at it. All right, any questions on the sprinkler heads? There was 1,600 sprinkler heads cleaned in this hospital over the last 3 weeks. The total was 1,600. They get dusty, they get dirty. The problem is, like this here, if this wasn't a concealed head, being so close to that register, it would cause static electricity and it would build up dust. And then you have to clean them. So we're going to all concealed heads. All you guys will have to look for on them is if the plate's missing or not. On the ones that are hanging down from the ceiling, the regular semi-recessed pendants, you have to make sure they're not dusty. If they are dusty, all you need to do is get some canned air and spray them off, because this register causes static electricity and it builds on these things really bad. So if you can get it off with canned air, get it off with canned air. If you can't, call me, make a note of the location, something, and it needs to be replaced. I wouldn't do anything besides canned air because these things are so sensitive. If you just touch this thing while it's under pressure, it could go off. So I definitely wouldn't even try it. This is an upright, quick response, standard response. You can tell the difference in the two sizes.
So the canned air, how far back would you recommend to spray it?
You know, I would start out about a foot away and just bring it in. You're not gonna damage it with the air. I don't think that's ever enough pressure to hurt anything. But if you get up close and were to hit it, it would definitely cause a problem. These sprinkler heads here in the hospital with the fire pumps that you have, one sprinkler head would probably put out about 40 to 100 gallons a minute, just according to what head it is. So even the lower end is going to cause a real mess. Yeah, I'm sure most of y'all have seen one go off. Have y'all ever seen this plate here anywhere?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This is called a 401 plate, or a big ugly, is what the sprinkler guys call them. They are big and they are ugly. If they're steel like these are all steel. We can get these plates all day, these skirts, for this, not a problem. If you go somewhere and this is aluminum, you can't get that anymore. So if we were to find one, it would be really lucky. And they're different sizes. The aluminum ones are smaller than these, so these won't stay on them. So, any questions on the sprinklers?
What about the two-piece discussions that you have to put on some of the sprinklers?
Like this one?
No. They come apart and go together around because you can't get one around the sprinkler.
Okay, I don't have one here, but they made a lot of sprinkler companies used a one-piece plate. And the sprinkler head would hang down out of the ceiling, basically past the threads.
Right.
And that plate would snap around the threads. Okay, they don't make that anymore either. They make a two-piece that's supposed to be a temporary
Yeah.
that you can put around it. But if you need those, let me know. We can get those. But to change that one-piece plate, you need to pull the whole drop out, cut a 1/2 inch off of it, and put the semi-recessed plate on it.
Because I still have some of those on North Wing.
Where at?
That's on around the elevators, I believe. On the elevators out there.
Yes.
I've
Okay.
had to use some of those.
Snap arounds.
Yeah.
There's some in the shop or?
Yeah. I think I gave you guys every one of them that I had in the office. So. No more questions? I know that's a lot to go over in a little time, but I know you guys are working, and he wanted me to do it, you know, as quick as I could, but as good as I could. So, do you guys?
Out of curiosity, why is some of that green and some of it red? Is that different temperature?
Yeah, this one here.
220?
Yeah, this one here and this one here is the same sprinkler. This is 200 degree and this is 155. If you have a mechanical room that gets up to 120 degrees, this has to be 70 degrees above normal operating temperature in that area. So that's why you'd have 200, and they make a blue one that's 286. And the strut type like this, y'all don't have many of these higher temperatures than 155, but the way they told you the difference in these, if it was just chrome like this, when it was made, it was 165 degrees. The 212 had white paint on it on both sides, and new people into this industry thinks that they've been painted by accident, but they haven't. They came from the factory that way. And the 286 has blue on both sides, so you can tell the difference. Y'all won't see many of those here though. everybody know the difference between a pendant and an upright. This is called the deflector. On an upright, all your little tits on it will be turning down. The water hits it and sprays out. That makes the fan motion that it does. This one, it only goes in a pendant position, and it's always flat. That way when the water hits it, it disperses straight out. Of course, everybody can tell the sidewall. Now they do make a vertical sidewall that you would come out of the ceiling up against the wall, and it would have to be within 6 inches from the wall, and it would cover the room that way. But y'all don't have any of those here either that I know of. If you were to go in a mechanical room or somewhere like that and you see something hanging down out of the wall up against the wall, let me know and we'll look at it. We need to just get rid of those. So
Most of the new ones that you're installing here is these.
yes. Yeah.
These covers are what we gotta have.
And like I said, these have on the deflector, it tells you the brand, and it tells you, most of them tell you the model number and the year they're made. So this is 2016. It's a GL 5603, so that tells me it's a globe, and it tells me, the 5603 tells me that it's extended coverage, and I can go look it up. And then it tells you right on here that it's 155, and it shows you a UL stamp right on it. So if you take this one and your plate's missing, and you take this one over there, it doesn't fit. I've seen people use caulk. I've seen people use glue. I mean, the two-sided tape, don't do that, because it's going to come back to get everybody. If it doesn't fit exactly, and this says right here on it that it's for this sprinkler only, for the globe sprinkler. And this fits several globe sprinklers, and that plate fits several globe sprinklers. But if it doesn't,
Screw that in, if it has a fire, does it blow it out, or?
yeah, this plate has a mixture of solder, tin, copper, I don't know what all's in this, but this plate is set to fall off at 135.
Okay.
And then the sprinkler goes off at 155. When this falls off, it's just like when you pick it up, that falls down. Then when there's a red bulb up in here, when it discharges, it works just like a normal sprinkler.
So none of the heads actually spin
No,
like you would in a
no, none of them spin. Once it discharges, it's discharged. They don't shut off by themselves. You have to cut it off and replace it. At one time, they tried to make an on-off sprinkler. They would come on, but they wouldn't go off. Same as the ones you have now, so they just did away with them. And if one goes off, they don't all go off. You see in the movies, somebody walks up and pulls a handle, and you got every sprinkler in the building goes off. That doesn't happen in a system like this. That is a very high hazard system, and they do make it, but you would never see it here. The only place, well, in the heliport, there's a pull station on the wall that sets that one off, but that's the only place you'll see it. Who works in that area? Any of y'all work at the heliport area? Okay. If you ever have any problems up there, let me know. That system is like nothing here. And that foam tank's full of, it has 300 gallons of foam in it, and it's about $25,000. Yeah. So, and it would fill that hanger up about 4 feet deep if it went off. So, is everybody signed in?
Is that your phone number that's on there?
My phone number,
with the data rooms and stuff, the different dry systems. They same temperature ratings and all that.
Yeah, they're all 155 because the data rooms normally are cooler anyway, so they'd have a 155 degree sprinkler in them. The only place you're going to see anything other than that is going to be some of the mechanical rooms or boiler rooms, anywhere that gets hot. And I don't think in the hospital I have seen anything over a 200. There may be a few 286s, but I don't remember anywhere they are. Now, if you guys have an accidental sprinkler discharge, you can call me. I know you'll have to shut the control valve off, and you can get a hold of Dennis or one of those guys, and they may know where to cut it off. If they don't, call me, because I've been doing work here for 20 plus years, and I know it pretty well. So I can usually tell you over the phone where to go cut it off. I did. Who was it that called? Was it you that called that night? That one went off?
Stephen,
Yeah, Stephen. So
that's when they
just
took
let me
that
know.
knucklehead out of the ER,
Yeah,
flooded the whole place.
yeah. They knocked one of these off and flooded the entire ER. So my number is 423-255-6344. And I have it on 24/7, so day or night. Yeah, you can call whenever you want. I'm used to it. I've been doing it long enough. I get calls all night.
423? Where was that?
423.
New York. Huh. Where was that?
255.
They want people up in?
Yes. 6344.
What was your name?
Somehow he got all of the
Terry.
police.
Yeah, Terry Mitchell.
Yeah, we don't know how that happened, but you beat this.
What did you say the nickname for that was?
Big Ugly.
What we call Bo.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the number is called a 401, but yeah, these are, there's a few, not many. These were real big in the 90s, and also in the 90s, you know, you had the surface mounted lights that hang down 4 inches. Well, if you have a surface mounted light and you put this beside it, it blocks it. So they went to this, and it drops it down below the light. And you can actually, by code, you can be 12 inches below the ceiling or the deck with a sprinkler head, and it still work, but you can't be over. And that's to the deflector.
When did they start putting the years that those were manufactured on the tip of them?
When they started making them in 1877.
They're good forever?
No.
No.
These standard response, well, where'd it go? A standard response sprinkler, upright pendant, whatever, has a life of 50 years. And then they have to be taken out and a percentage sent off and tested. If they test good, they're good for 10 more years. Then you have to do the same thing over again. Eventually, you'd change them all out anyway.
Because I knew a fire extinguisher had 20 for 20 years?
12.
12?
Just
12.
what it is.
Well,
It don't CO2.
they have to be hydro tested every 12 years on an extinguisher. And if they test good, then you can recharge them and
They
use
gotta
them.
do a 6-year maintenance, that's every,
Yes. Every 6 years, you've got to do an internal inspection.
CO2s are every 5, so.
They have to be hydro tested every 5. They're dangerous. This one here, this is half the shelf life of this one. This is 20. And then they have to be tested every 10 after that. Same thing for in the kitchen. You have some dry pendants coming down into your coolers. You know, those things, if you're in that area, watch them, make sure they don't get ice hanging off of them. If anybody gets on top of the freezer walking around and breaks the seal and it starts getting warm air come through there, it'll make ice form on it. We need to seal it off, make sure that doesn't happen. You can have one discharge that way.
Got one in Cooler 10 that night, remember that one?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's been several.
Yeah.
All right, any more questions? Nothing? All right. That is all I have. Y'all have my phone number. If you need to, call me. I'll talk to you anytime you want to call. Answer anything I can.